Hello, welcome back to the James Rambling Reviews, and in today's review I'm actually going to be doing a movie review on a film that I watched today, and I just thought, you know what, because of how I felt about the film, I was like, I might as well talk about it. So we are talking about today's movie review. You can't see there already, this is actually the Star Wars Mandalorian and the Grogu movie. You can see obviously Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian there. And I know the movie was out this year, stuff like that. I knew that it came out on in the cinemas, and there's all of that to be considered. But I'll give you a bit of context about like my experience with the Mandalorian TV show, and then I'll get into how I felt about the movie, what I would actually give it out of 10, if it's worth watching, things like that. So if you don't know already, I'm someone that did actually like the first two seasons of the Mandalorian television series, but I just felt like there was this decline in quality when it came to that third season, where it just did not really have the same level of energy as the other two seasons. They were trying to cram so much into the episodes, and then you had to watch like the book of Boba Fett, and there was all that stuff where it was like trying to cram all these ideas into one episode, and then every episode just felt like there was too much going on, and then you kind of get a battle at the end and all that like that. It just didn't have that type of energy towards it, where it was like that was an entertaining thing to watch, and especially when it was also trying to go back and tell you more about the Mandalorians and the kind of the lore in the universe from the Mandalorian comics, and it was trying to do too much for its own good inside that season. And so there is all of that. And what I'll say is, when it came to like seeing trailers of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, it just felt like, oh, that's just a typical Mandalorian sort of storyline, isn't it, with the Grogu and all that, and that old Baby Yoda Grogu character. So there is all of that. And what I'll start off by saying is that with this movie, that it did actually surprise me a little bit. Like, it is actually a little bit more entertaining than The Mandalorian Season 3. And obviously, because it's a 2-hour film, it obviously it's going to feel a little bit different because it's a different structure. It's more of a film rather than an episodic series. But it just felt like the way the movie was, this movie just felt like it was going back to what it needed to be as a Mandalorian Grogu adventure, where you get the Mandalorian, he's on the hunt, on the search for things, and trying to find the answers on the planet and all that. Like, that felt like that was absolutely what it needed to be. The stuff with obviously the Jabba the Hutt and all of that, like there was some there's actually some pretty funny moments. You get some cool action scenes, and overall the movie was a fun movie to watch. It wasn't, obviously, in my opinion, it wasn't like a brilliant film or anything, but I just feel like on its own entertainment scale, own entertainment level, that it did provide enough there where it's like, oh yeah, that's an entertaining movie that I personally quite enjoyed. And so I will say all of that. And you obviously still get like the Mandalorian music from the TV show. And I will be honest, at times that the storyline and just the pacing and the way they structure the story, sometimes it's a little bit slow, and it does kind of it does focus on one thing at a time, which I do like, is how it goes, and it tells you about how the Mandalorian is on the hunt and on a journey on the hunt for some stuff that these guys have, and it is like, okay, let's focus on that, get the action, and then you kind of go past that, but then you go right through and you go on, and you see the Jabba the Hutt and all that, like that type of, or the Hutt family, like you get to see Jabba the Hutt and it's like his brother. Like, I like all that, where it tries to really, you know, give itself a bit of time to really have another storyline in there, and then you get past that and it's like, okay, there is a beginning, middle and end to this movie. So it isn't just like, it doesn't feel like it's scrambling the storylines. It's like one part of the movie's dedicated to this, the next part of the movie dedicated to the next thing, and it just feels like the movie overall is entertaining, and it has something about it where it's like, oh yeah, I know what I'm getting myself into, and it just goes back to the basics with simple Star Wars familiar ideas and things like that. And so overall, I will say that I did enjoy it. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like Andor Season 2, which I absolutely adored, and I thought it was one of the best Star Wars series in a while and things. So I wouldn't say it's on that level, but it does enough for me. It's like, that's entertaining. That's a bit of a surprise for me compared to what I already experienced with Mandalorian Season 3. So overall, I'll give this one like a 7. I would say about a 7 out of 10 really. It's an enjoyable little film, and if you have nothing else to really do and you want to watch something that you've not watched before, then go on and watch that movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu 2026. I watched it online on my TV, and I did enjoy it for what it was going for. So overall, a 7 out of 10. That's what I think about this movie. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this movie, or you just thought, oh, it was alright, I guess. Or everyone's gonna have a different opinion. So hope you enjoyed this review, and hope you do stay tuned for more reviews like this one. And also, we'll link down below my previous video that I done today, which was about that film from the 90s, which I've still been doing those recommended movie type of videos where there's someone that I know that recommended films to me, and that's been a series of film reviews I've been enjoying, like a different angle to my channel, different type of vibe and different ways to talk about films. So hope you enjoy this review, and stay tuned for this one on the James Ramblin Reviews, and goodbye, right? See you after.